The City of Casey proudly acknowledges the traditional owners, Casey's Aboriginal communities, and their rich culture, and pays respect to their elders past, present and future. We acknowledge Aboriginal people as Australia's first people and as the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we work and live. This podcast has been recorded on Bunurong land.
The views, opinions and information shared during the KCU Services podcast series belong solely to the individuals involved. Any recommendations or advice given during the podcast are general in nature and does not replace the need to seek professional advice where necessary. If you are in need of urgent assistance, please call 000 or the Kids Helpline on 1800 551 800.
Hello everyone and welcome to Season 6, Episode 1 of the Casey Youth Services podcast. I'm Ellie.
And I'm Madi.
We hope you have all had a smooth transition into 2025. All right, Madi, quick icebreaker question. If you were invisible for a day, what would you do?
I would prank everyone I know. Yep. What would you do?
I would use my invisibility to see and do cool things like being front row at a concert or something. Actually, why would I even go front row? I'd go on the stage. They wouldn't know I was there.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. Why didn't I think of that? That's it. That's what I'm doing.
Nice.
In today's episode, we are going to discuss an important topic and one that was requested by the young people in our centres, and that is school transitioning and the challenges that this can create for young people. These challenges could include many things such as making friends and peer pressure.
So term 1 for you guys would have just started when this episode is released. So a lot of young people will be transitioning from primary school to secondary school to different schools, different year levels, to university or into the workforce. And this can be an overwhelming time for a lot of people.
Maddie, how did you find transitioning?
I definitely struggled with transitioning from primary school to high school at first. I didn't have friends from my primary school going into my high school, so I did have to kind of make some new friends, and I did pretty quickly in the other classroom. But yeah, so I just studied a lot in class and just put my head down, and that worked for me. So yeah, it was good.
Nice.
What about you?
Very similar. So I didn't know a lot of people going from my primary school into high school. There was only one person from my primary school. So, yeah, I guess that was hard. And she always called in sick, so she was like never there. So I'd just be lonely. I did find some really great friends at school, and especially in year 8, I kind of found a lot of people that I'm still like really, really good friends with. So, yeah, just after some time, it got a lot easier.
Nice. Same. Works like that.
Yeah.
So an important part of transitioning that we both experienced was navigating relationships, and that will be the first topic that we'll talk about today. We'll also be discussing through this podcast tips for transitioning into high school, making new friends, what peer pressure is and identifying it, how to cope with negative peer pressure, and strategies and resources to make this time easier for you. So what are some things that young people can do to make transitioning a little easier, Ellie?
Find out if there's anybody you know going to the school and see if you can buddy up like we did. We found the one person that we knew, and when they were around, tried to hang around with them as much as possible. Makes it a little bit easier to transition and meet new people. Visit the school and find out where everything is. Most schools do a orientation day, but if you feel like you didn't learn enough or see enough, definitely find another day to go in and visualize your first day going successful and try to stay positive and calm.
Yep, 100%. I think also don't be afraid to ask questions. So ask your teacher questions if you're lost or if you need some help, or don't be afraid to do that because that's what they're there for. They're there to help you and they understand what you're going through is difficult. Another thing is have a friend you can talk to when things get stressful, or don't be afraid to talk to people around you because they're all going through the same thing. And yeah, just remember that you're not alone. Try and get your timetable and class information so you can get familiar with it before the first day. And organising your books, stationery, uniforms, backpacks, and anything else you'll need.
Find out where to go or who you can ask when you need help. So that could be the wellbeing centre or team, your year coordinator, the office, anything like that. Just know who's best to speak to in what situation. Take care of yourself by getting enough sleep, exercise and eating healthy. This will help you to start school well rested, focused and energised. You can eat healthy by planning your lunches, by packing healthy meals and snacks, or listening to a sleep meditation the night before. I think I told you this. I had a couple of young people going into first term and they were doing food prep and had just gone shopping and got everything ready. So I really like that idea.
Nice.
And try keeping an open mind.
Also, keeping up with the study routine to manage your workload can get stressful when you're not on top of your homework and your teacher gets mad. Try talking to your family or people you live with about creating a quiet space at home for homework is really important. You can meet new people by trying new activities like sports, band or drama, and this can help you to connect with peers and find shared interests with people around you.
So, Maddie, I know for me, I find it hard making new friends or just going up to people and chatting to them. And just while I've spoken to other young people in the centres, they have expressed similar things. So there's a few things that have been brought up to me. Yeah, so one concern is feeling worried you'll be rejected or embarrass yourself. How do you think that myself or other young people can handle that?
So just be yourself, honestly. You can start conversations by breaking the ice with a joke or a compliment or even a polite hello. How are you can go a long way. And just remember that making friends will happen naturally, so don't take yourself too seriously in the meantime. Everything will work itself out.
Another concern is not being able to find things in common.
So you may think that you don't have anything in common with other people, and that's okay, but there are lots of ways to find things in common with others. For example, sharing something personal about yourself and filtering less of what you say and do. Also, trying new activities to expand your interests can help you find things in common with other people.
One thing I find that I do, and young people have mentioned, it's comparing yourself to others or being hard on yourself. What kind of advice would you provide for that?
This is actually very natural and can be a good thing. It can help us to motivate us to change and achieve our goals by comparing ourselves to others. However, doing this too much can be harmful to our mental health and leave us feeling not good enough. When you know that you're doing this, try to catch yourself out in the moment and then say to yourself, I accept myself just the way I am and I'm exactly where I'm meant to be.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. I'll take that on board. Another thing is having friendships end in the past and not knowing why. I guess, for example, moving from grade 6 to year 7 and just kind of falling out of touch with those primary school friends, just the concern around that.
Yeah, so friendships are really important, especially at this age, but they can come and go throughout our life and some endings are harder than others. So I guess during this time, allow yourself to feel your emotions and prioritize your own well-being and avoid self-blame and just, try to treat yourself with kindness and compassion as you move forward.
I get a lot of anxiety and that can stop me from actually going up to people and feeling that nervousness. Any advice on that?
Yeah, so like mentioned earlier, joining activities can help you find things in common with other people and common interests. And it shows your curiosity by asking questions about their lives and hobbies. Also, remember to be friendly and kind because this will make other people feel comfortable to approach you. And it's natural to feel nervous, but practice builds confidence.
Yes. Another thing that young people have brought up to me is not knowing the right thing or quote unquote the right thing to say.
So if you're unsure what to say, focus on listening first. Ask open-ended questions to keep the conversation going and don't worry about being perfect. Just be you. You will find the special people you connect with.
I think an important topic to discuss is peer pressure. So when meeting new people and making new friends, it's something that you may have to deal with.
So it's okay to feel confused or to struggle with peer pressure. Everybody faces it at some point in their lives. By learning how to identify peer pressure, you'll get better at dealing with it. Standing up to peer pressure takes practice and courage and it can be scary at first. But no matter how pressured you feel, you always have the option of saying no. You might have friends who enjoy taking risks or trying new things, but that doesn't mean that you have to as well.
You might be scared that they won't like you or want to be your friend anymore. It takes practice standing up to peer pressure and being true to yourself. Some tips we can suggest for staying strong and not giving in to peer pressure is to give a confident no thanks or not for me. Using humour to deflect pressure or attention. Move away from the situation. Get support and talk to someone you trust. Know what you're willing to let slide. So be true to yourself. Know your boundaries. Just stick to who you are.
Definitely. And it's okay for someone to ask you to do something or to try to motivate you into doing new things. But what isn't okay is if the other person does not accept your answer when you say no.
Definitely. And I know that we have been mentioning transitions into year 6, from year 6 to year 7, but this is obviously valid for going to new schools. Some schools transition from year 9 to 10 or even from 10 to 11. And peer pressure is something it might start, at a school you've been to for years. So definitely relevant for everyone. So if we're feeling stressed out with school, work, friendships, family, transitioning or anything, an important thing I recommend is self-care. What does self-care look like for you, Maddie?
For me, self-care would be spending time with friends and family, spending time in nature, meditating, getting enough sleep. So I use a sleep meditation and yoga.
For anyone that is interested in doing meditation or yoga, do you go to like a class? What do you do?
I just chuck on a YouTube guided meditation, and I used to use the yoga guides on YouTube or whatever, but I just do my own thing now. Like I know what works for me,
Nice.
So what does self-care look like to you?
I love walking my dog, so my day always starts with walking him. Same thing, I like being out in nature for those walks as much as I can. I love music, so when I was younger, an outlet for me would definitely be just like shutting my door, laying on the bed and just listening to music and listening to my body as well though. So like if I am too much like go, knowing that my body needs a break and resting and just taking time to myself. But yeah, other things that we'd recommend is eating well, doing activities that you enjoy, maybe taking a nice relaxing bath or journaling. And I know that it might seem like it's hard to find the time for self-care, but even just setting aside 10 minutes a day. Or you could journal in 10 minutes, take a 10-minute bath. Like there is a lot of things that you can get done in 10 minutes. Yeah, so sometimes we do need a little bit more than that and want someone to talk to. And we encourage everyone to take advantage of all the resources available to them.
So here at Youth Services, we have an amazing counselling team if you feel like talking to someone. Our youth counselling and support team offer a free confidential counselling service for young people aged 10 to 25 who live in or are connected to the city of Casey. I think the current wait is around 2 weeks. Like discussed earlier, participating in activities you like is a good way to meet and connect with new like-minded people. At the City of Casey Youth Services, we provide many programs for free. We have Let's Talk Lego, What's Cooking, Arts, Dungeons and Dragons and more. These programs do change each term, so make sure you keep up to date by following us on social media.
2 programs we run every term we highly recommend for connecting with others and building new skills is our Girl Connect and Man Cave programs. So our Girl Connect program is a fun group for girls aged 10 to 12 to come together and learn new skills, explore new interests and build confidence. This is a fun and empowering space where you'll develop valuable skills, make new friends and grow into your best self. It is held Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. at our Narre Warren Youth Information Centre with the 2 of us and Larissa facilitating it.
In the past, we have done fun activities such as gardening, canvas painting, trivia, and had inspiring guest speakers and engaging personal development sessions.
And we have an exciting plan for this term. We won't give too much away, but we have a Dress to Impress activity, netball, art, learning about healthy relationships. And I know that we both think that is a very important topic and one we hope to touch on in this podcast later in the season.
And Man Cave is a program for young men aged 10 to 17 years. It's a fun and meaningful experience that supports the changing nature of being a young male during their teenage years. A session at Man Cave can include a barbecue dinner, chill out around the fire pit, and discussing man business, basketball, pool and gaming. This is held during the school term at our Narre Warren Youth Information Centre, Thursday nights from 5:30 to 7:30.
Remember, you don't need to attend a program to attend one of our drop-in centres where other young people hang out. Our staff are always there during opening hours from 1:30 to 5:15, and we would love for you to come and hang out, play some games and have a chat. Other than the City of Casey Youth Services, there are many other services that you can contact for help.
Some of these include Kids Helpline, reachout.com, the Wellbeing Team at your school or Headspace.
Thank you everyone for listening. We hope that the tips we've provided in this podcast can be helpful for your transitioning into your new school, and we hope you all have a great year.
So to stay up to date with all the exciting things happening in Casey Youth Services, please feel free to follow, like and share us on social media accounts at Casey Youth Services. As always, all appropriate links will be attached to the show notes.
Feel free to drop into the Casey Youth Information Centres. We are open 1:30 to 5:15pm Monday to Friday at our Narre Warren and Cranbourne centres, with extended hours exclusive to our Hampton Park Centre. Please check out our website for more details.
If you have any questions, please feel free to message us on Facebook, Instagram, or look out for a question box in all of our centres. Until next time, take care and stay safe.